Hello, welcome to the Imperfect Podcast, the podcast where we bring perfect people to talk about their imperfections. Hi, Polina.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Good
good,
to be
and
here.
yeah, good to have you also here, Polina. Thank you for your trust and for being part of this adventure, Polina. So we know each other in a certain circle, but I don't really know a lot about you. I know that you are in the United States. I know that you have done a big journey and path of awakening with yourself. This is how we met. And I'm super eager to know more about you and your experiences during this episode. But first, I would like to ask you for something that is usually painful for my guests, which is to present yourself in whatever way you'd like to.
Okay, so I'm presenting myself now.
Yes.
Uh, um, so my name is Paulina, and I do live in the United States right now, very close to New York and in New Jersey, in northern Jersey. But originally, I'm from Russia. I came here over 15 years ago, and it just so happened that I met my husband, um, and decided to stay because this was not in the plan at all. I started the harmonic circle. That was in April of 2024, I believe. And the reason for that is I was in a place where I was kind of a little bit confused where to go because before having my daughter, I was in the corporate world. I worked in a really big real estate company in New York City. And my life was kind of really, really, really busy, to say the least. Yeah, so working 14 hours a day sometimes, and no weekends except for Saturday because it was a Jewish company. So Saturdays were my Sabbath, when I could do things around the house. And then 2020 happened, COVID, and it just kind of liberated me from this corporate world. And I was so traumatized that I couldn't even think about going back. And I got pregnant and I had my daughter. And of course, first couple of years, all you think about is the baby. But then, little by little, as the child grows and kind of separates from you, you start thinking, what are you going to do next? And I knew for sure that I don't want to go back to the corporate world. And I started searching. And on my search, it just somehow, so we were going through a little bit of a family trauma. My sister-in-law she was diagnosed with breast cancer. So that was also very impactful. And I was thinking, so what do I want to do in my life? Because life is so fragile. She's very young. She has two very young kids. You never know. And I went to a medium, and the medium told me that something's going to happen to you in the fall of 2023. And what happened is that I was always into astrology, but there was kind of like an amateur level, just like reading and watching some stuff, but never actually put time and effort to study it. But then in the fall, something happened, and this school just came into my life, and I started my journey in astrology. And the more I was learning all my imperfections that are actually making me that perfect human being that I am, the more I started searching. And I was searching for answers because I had so many questions and I couldn't find the answers in the regular books because I'm a bookworm. I love books. And the harmonic circle came miraculously in my life, and brought that sense of direction and center that I was missing, that discipline, but most of all, structure, I would say. The structure in my search of answers, my kind of like this awakening, sort of say, but I'm not fully awakened. I know it. I'm still very present in the material world. But that was the beginning of my journey, the beginning of my path of and I got to know you. through the harmonic circle, and I'm really interested in getting to know you a little bit more. So now
Polina,
I'm
I
an
think,
astrologist. You know that I'm a
yeah.
mother too.
So that's what I wanted to tell you. Let's skip role, like switch roles. I think it's more interesting for me now to learn what's the astrological sign, like for my sign. Like, would be able to tell me what's, for example, the astrological expectations for 2026 for cancers, for example, like me? Or
Well,
no,
you
it's
can't
much
say
more
it.
than that.
It's much more than that, you know, that
Uh-huh.
we think that our sun sign is what kind of astrological sign that we are. When you say when you that you are Cancer, you just talk about one planet. And we have so many planets in our birth chart, and each planet is a part of us. Let's say if we talk about sun, the sun is the part of us that is wanting. It's our inner child that likes to play, that likes to um, show yourself, you know. So what you're doing right now, your podcast, it's your son. You
Mm,
want to show yourself, you want to do something meaningful, something that you really want to show from yourself. And that's just one part of you. But there's another part. Let's say your moon sign. Your moon is your emotional state. It's how you show your emotions, how you feel comfort, how you feel this world, not think about it, but feel it. And then we have Mercury as Hermes. You know, Hermes is it's Mercury is something that connects the outer world with the inner world. It's how we communicate, how we learn, how we take the information, process it, and then we verbalize it. So they're all different parts through planets. And I can't really say that how the 2026 is going to be for you personally, because I need to see a whole chart. But what I can say about 2026, that it's going to be very different from 2025, because we have big planets like Neptune and Saturn, and then we have uh, what was the other planet that are changing signs. So the Neptune, which is in January, end of January, will be changing the sign. We were in the Pisces area, now we go into Aries, and it's totally different. Neptune is the part of us that is responsible for connection with the divine. That's the religion as well. You know, it's all our. It's a very complicated planet and a complicated part of us, but it's changing direction completely. So I guess the religions are going to be changing as well,
mm.
and that we'll see how it goes. But it's very different. It's a different year for sure, a different vibe.
What about your imperfections in 2026? Do you think they will change or they will stay the same? What are the imperfections that you are the most um, working with in this moment?
Well, there's a lot of imperfections. Let's say how I even got so much into astrology because I was you know, I had a little baby and I felt like I was a very imperfect mother, and I wanted to understand her. I wanted not just to raise her, but actually understand why she is the way she is, and why some approaches that I used are not working with her. And astrology helped me in a way. So, and I'm not a perfect astrologer either. We all make mistakes. So all those imperfections are just little steps that are helping us to grow. And I'm definitely not a perfect wife. I'm currently going through a little bit of a crisis, and every crisis are necessary too, so we could, you know, learn and grow a little bit, or not a little bit, depends on how big is the crisis. But yeah, so I'm definitely not a perfect mom, so I'm imperfect in that way. um I'm an imperfect daughter, and a sister. I have a younger sister and a younger brother. um a lot of imperfections, but what happened throughout the time that I'm going with the harmonic circle is that I started to take my imperfections as just parts of myself and not really all who I am. Because before, previously, I feel like I was very concentrated and focused on all those imperfections. And now I just understand that those are the parts of me, and it's okay. We're all imperfect, and that's the perfection of it, that we are so imperfect.
Hmm. What is imperfection for you?
Well, imperfection is, I guess it's, um, we have this standard. So in my mind, I have some sort of a standard, which is a perfection. It's not the actual meaning of the world. I know the perfection in its core meaning, it's something that is whole. So, but in a way, it actually changed like throughout, life. So imperfection is the standard that we have in our mind. And then if something is not up to the standard, I guess it's an imperfection. That's how I understand it. Just those little things that, to be honest, that make us us. Because if we are all perfect, if we are all whole, then, I mean, then I cannot even wake up if I'm already perfect.
Yeah, and I guess it would be boring, you know. We will be all at the standard, as you were mentioning. We will be all look like each other. In fact, I like your definition of imperfection because by its definition it makes us feel that imperfection is related to the outside concept, to the concept that is constructed by us humans or societies or history, and that we are trying to compare ourselves to this, and whatever is less or more becomes imperfect. And in fact, we in reality, it's our imperfections that make us, as you said it, who we are. But then,
Yes, that's
Paulina, you
true.
said something that maybe not all our audience will understand. You said that the imperfection and the crisis and the traumas are welcomed in your life because you embrace them. And maybe some people who are struggling now with a crisis or with an imperfection or whatsoever will say, but how? Because they are really in the moment and in the crisis. What would you tell them? How would you explain this to them?
Yeah, but it's only recently that I started embracing all those imperfections and crises, because obviously back in the day, I would be really like very into it, and then I couldn't understand why things are happening to me. And now I understand that things are not happening to me, they're happening for me. The reasons why I'm going through certain so-called hard times, because I need to learn some lesson. I need to get into a new level. Even in astrology, we have different levels. People can live on the basic level, and they can live on the higher level of their natal chart. So when everything is going smoothly, it's just the nature of the humans. We are not wired to change what's comfortable. So when we are in this comfort zone, we're not gonna learn. We're not gonna grow. And why I embrace those crises and hard times, because this is the perfect opportunity for me to grow, to go on a next level, to because every crisis make us stronger. It makes us understand things. And now if I look at my past life, everything that happened to me, all those tears and all those moments where I felt that I was really in this um terrible situations. Now I know that all those moments made me who I am right now, and they were for a reason. And at that moment, I didn't understand the reason. I may not even understand it now, but I know that in the future, I'll see it from the point where I'm gonna see why things happen the way they happen, why I'm going through a crisis right now in my relationships personally. I understand that it's gonna bring me, my relationships on a higher level. That's why I embrace them.
Beautifully said. I've been into big crisis in my relationship also, and I think it was the most awakening experience one of the most awakening experience I've ever had. And in moments you think that everything is collapsing and that everything has collapsed, but then if the basis is strong and the both are ready to do the work, everything can be shifted. And if it's shifted, good. And if it didn't shift, good also, because it means that this is the best for us. But in the moment, it's very difficult for us to acknowledge this. In fact,
Yeah, that's true. I've been telling myself about this, that, if it needs to be this way, then needs to be this way for both of us.
yeah. And this is what I was telling my son this last weekend. I don't know what was the context, but I told him, if something is meant for you, or it's meant to be, it will be, no matter how you force it or not force it, or what you do to it will be. So let's trust the universe, let's trust life, let's trust the experiences, even when they are painful. But Polina, we are humans, and we are always trying to make sense of things, and sometimes things don't make sense, no?
And it's funny because I was just thinking about the thing that let's say me, personally, I guess I'm trying to change things, and I'm not agreeing with God. Sort of say, like, when something happens and um I'm against it. I'm like, I don't like that it's happening. That means that I'm doubting that God is doing what God needs to do. So now I'm like kind of relaxed into it. I just need to, just go with the flow and see where God wants me to go. So I feel that makes me feel a little bit calmer and a little peaceful for sure.
Yeah, that you remind me of a sentence that I came with during this period, which helped me get out of my crisis, which was, why not me? In fact, it was Anaconda who gave it to me. He told me, in spite of asking yourself, why me? Ask yourself, why not me? Like,
That's
and in the
great.
negative sense, meaning, I'm nice, I do everything good, I'm like, why this is happening to me? Why me? And then it's like, you're nothing. We are nothing. Like, things are happening. And like, everything that cannot align to make sure that Ziad or Polina are happy and they are good and everything is perfect for them. We are so small, you know? So in fact, don't expect, it's all about expectations. If we expect things to be perfect for us, we will be deceived when things will get complicated. But if we don't expect anything, but this is very difficult not to expect anything, no,
It
Polina?
is. But everything is perfect. That's the thing. Everything is perfect, even in those imperfect moments that we think they're not perfect, but everything is perfect. That's exactly the way it's supposed to be. We think that oh, if I made that decision, that things would be different. No, everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, and it's perfect for us in that moment.
Yeah,
But it's
talking
hard.
about,
Yeah, I agree.
it's
It's hard.
hard,
We're
it's hard.
people.
And, I'm trying to make sense of it, but it's like, it's hard. Polina, we live today, unfortunately, in a world where perfection is praised. Standards, as you mentioned, are everything has a standard for everything. We go on social media, we see everybody is beautiful, happy, thriving, and we look at our lives and what are we doing? What do you do to keep yourself grounded in this perfection obsessed world?
By the way, 2026 gonna put an end on that perfection. Yes, people are gonna be embracing imperfections. I feel like it's a really different world now. Until 2038, when the Neptune is gonna be in Aries, we'll see a total change in how people are perceiving everything. I do have my rituals, and I have my little I love doing gratitude in the morning. So I have my gratitude journal and I say thanks. Even today, I was saying thanks to my husband that I'm allowed to go through this crisis and grow, even though it's very hard. And then I feel hurt in, like, some moments I feel very hurt, and sometimes I feel angry. But I allow myself to feel those emotions, because before I would probably just run away. This is my Enneagram 7 type. Yes, I love running away to the oh, really? It's so funny.
I know what
Yeah,
you're talking
so
about.
I would probably go somewhere, like on a trip now, just to escape this, or um start taking different courses, but I made myself a promise for this January that I am not taking any new courses, any new classes. I'm not starting any new books. I'm just continuing um deepening my knowledge of what I already have, going through all the books that I haven't finished yet, because I am the person that has 10 different books that I'm all reading all at the same time. Yeah, so this is my sober January. Besides of not having alcohol and sugar and not going into the food spiral or alcohol spiral and all these experiences as well, I am trying to live with my emotions, with my feelings, really letting them have space in me and let them go. And it works. Not every time, but it works. So far, no new courses, no new books. Well, it's been only 5 days in January, but I'm proud of myself.
We'll
So
talk on the
that's what I'm.
31st. We'll
What?
talk on the 31st to make sure that you
Yes,
kept
we
your.
will. I'll post it. I'll post it on the Telegram just to give an update how it was. But so far, I'm very happy. I had some temptations for sure already. Yeah. Well, and the process that I'm going through right now in my personal life, it's also, I feel like it was meant to be. So I could actually be with my feelings and not do what I always used to do. My pattern of just running away to a different experience, kind of like just brushing off all those emotions and feelings. But now I am embracing them, just like I'm embracing the crises and hardships.
Well, so now you are in this point where you are embracing all your parts, even the parts that you don't really like, let's say. And while you are in this, how would you describe this part of you that is the most imperfect or the most you don't like in this moment? What does it look like?
My part, so I've been analyzing it for a while now. There is a part of me that tries to earn love, but doesn't really feel like it could be loved for just who this part is. And I guess it comes from the childhood, um, when I was trying to do things so people could say good things about me, compliment me, and give me love. This is how I felt to be loved. So that's the part that I see that part vividly. I still have it. It's still part of me. Um, but it's just like in astrology and what I do in my personal, how I read the astrology. I don't just tell you, oh, those are your talents, those are your skills, or this is how it's supposed to be. What I do is that I look at the tension in the natal chart, and um, those tensions are subconscious programs. That's how I call it. They're emotional blocks that we don't see. They're just running in the background. And what I do, I bring it into light. So once you see it, once you give it space, that's when you can transform it. Because until you know that you have them, you can't do anything about them. So now I'm giving that part space, and I'm transforming it little by little. I'm transforming that part. But that's the part that I feel like that's the part that is um constantly trying to earn love.
Hmm.
And me being a mother, I have my daughter, she's 4. She's the most precious thing in my life. I love her with my whole being, and if if she ever feels that she needs to earn my love or somebody else's love, that's heartbreaking for me. I want her to know that she is loved no matter what. She doesn't have to earn my love or anybody's love. And that's what I was trying to do since the day she was born. I always tell her that I love you. And even if I scream or if we have some fights, I still love you no matter what. And she knows that. I'm engraving that in her little head.
Polina, you putting your hand on something that is really important because I have this relationship also with my older son who's now 12. yeah, our relationships can sometimes be, like manly, and like I'm expecting a lot from him. Like I want him to be perfect in a way. That's why I'm doing the Imperfect podcast. But and at the same time, I want him to know that I love him no matter what and no matter how. And so I keep repeating it, and I keep saying it to him. But sometimes I feel that my actions are not in line with what I'm saying. So it's a process. It's a long process in which we cannot even if we want to be perfect, it's very difficult to be perfect. And I'm happy that you put. It's the first time in this podcast we talk about this specific imperfection that I believe many, 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 many people have in them, but very few people see it. And that is based on how we were raised, on the values of the society at the time of where our parents raised us, and and it's very important that we talk about it. It's very important that we talk about it, because I also, for example, and this is another thing, Polina, like I had 10 or 12 guests until now, or more, 15 guests. And every time they speak about an imperfection, I have it. So I'm gonna, I think, kill myself after they finish this podcast. 100 episodes, 100 imperfection I have. We all have them all. But it's
Yeah.
important that we talk about it, and it's not easy, even when we realize it, to change it. So you said that it's small steps, step by step, and we can get there.
Yeah, and I do it for my daughter as well because she sees I'm her example. I can tell her many, many, many times the same thing, but if I'm doing the opposite thing, when my actions are not aligned, as you said, then she's gonna actually pick up the actions. But I want to tell you something, not to be harsh on yourself with your kids, because father's love could be conditional. That's okay. Mother's
Yeah.
love is unconditional.
Oh,
Yeah, so
wow, you're liberating me. So since
yes, you
tonight,
see.
I have conditions everywhere. Why? Why?
Because these are two different parts. We have the moon, which is our mother, and the perception of the mother, and that's what is active since the day we are born until the father comes into the picture around 3 to 5 years old. And when the father shows that I like this and I'm doing everything to achieve whatever I want. So, and even to do that, you have certain conditions. And it's okay. The father shows how to play with life. And it's also, in every game we have rules. And it's perfectly fine, because without rules, we're not going to get to the end goal of the game. So the mother is the one who shows the child that it's loved unconditionally. That's the emotional, what we have this how we feel the world, the emotions inside of us, the safety that we feel that comes from the mother. And then the father is the one who shows how to play, how to shine. It's the sun in our chart, how to shine, how to achieve things. So don't worry, you're good. A
Good.
lot of a lot of heaviness on your wife though. No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'll have a discussion with her. uh, Polina, what did you have to let go of to become the version of yourself today? And you've said it, you're still working on yourself, you are not awakened, and I don't know if we're gonna ever reach full awakening, because awakening is a process, it's not an end game. But what did you have to let go of to reach where you are today?
Expectations of myself. I always had those expectations and those standards, but little by little, I let go of them. And now I see different parts of myself. That's a very important part of my sadhana, is that I'm observing myself, and I'm noticing different parts, and I'm just giving them, their space. I'm okay with them being present, and I'm just I let go. I'm not fully, like, I still have some expectations of myself that I'm working on, but I don't feel that much pressure from myself that much. Like, I used to have so much pressure. I need to be this, I need to achieve that, I need to do this. I have this whole list of things. And now I still put my things, I still have lists in the morning with all those different goals that I want to complete by the end of the day. But what's changed is that at the end of the day, when I put those check marks, and if I have some of them that are not completed, I'm okay with that. I just write a little arrow for the next day, and it's not empty. It's not a minus, it's like a little arrow, and I feel better. And like, okay, well, I'll do it tomorrow. It's okay.
Yeah. To do listing is like the art of doing to-do lists and going from one day to the other. But yeah, I think expectations
Planning.
is a big thing. And Polina, if I meet you in the middle of nature with blue sky, the moon, the sun, and like a very peaceful environment, like if I meet the Polina in such a heaven environment, who would I meet?
You would meet a soul. No, I had this insight the other day. I was thinking about spirit and the body, and what's in between is the soul that connects the spirit, which is the divine, and our body, now our material experience. And I feel like when you are in those serene, beautiful nature scenes, that's where you have that soul shine. Like it's more loud. It's louder in those moments of this beautiful nature serene scenery. So I guess you would actually meet the soul of Polina,
And
not
how does
just
it look like?
the personality. Hmm?
The soul of Selena, how does
But
it look like? The soul of Polina, how does it look like?
I don't know if it looks like anything. I
Or how
feel
does
like
it feel? Or how does it how
I feel it feels really warm. It feels very peaceful. Yeah. But enthusiastic. I cannot forget my seven nature. A lot of enthusiasm.
and I have a feeling that you needed to hear this about your soul. And I can see it on your face, your smile. You reconnect with the spirit because the soul is in you, this peaceful and enthusiastic soul is in you. And sometimes you don't access it because of all the brouhaha of our life and crises and things and to-dos. And do you feel it?
Yeah, I feel it.
So
Thank you.
what would you like to say to someone who's trying to get the love of others by doing things, who is trying to work on themselves to become a better version of themselves, who are imperfect in the roles they are playing in their lives? What would you tell them?
Um, I would tell them to see it. You gotta notice that part of yourself. Remember that it's just part. It's not all of you. It's not your entire, being. You're not just your personality, and you're not just your body, you're not just your emotions. You're much more than that. And that little part is just that. It's a part. We just need to remember that we are way more than all our parts, all our subconscious programs, and all those emotional blocks. We are much more than that. And that's just one thing to remember.
So for the ones who won't understand what does it mean we are more than that, can you explain it a little bit more?
Well, even when we say, like, I have my body, like, who I that has the body? That means that we are not the body. Or I have all those emotions, I guess there is something more than all those emotions. Or I have those thoughts. There's something that has all those thoughts and emotions and has this body. Um, and I guess it's just a part of the divine. It's the spirit, it's our soul that connects the spirit and the body. Um, we are much more than that. I don't know how to explain it in just regular words.
No,
But I
I like
feel
how
I have a feeling that people that are watching your podcast, they kind of already know what I'm talking about,
probably. But Paulina, you mentioned something at the beginning that made me think of, like what you just said now, made me think of it, which was thinking versus feeling. Like I've always was intrigued by this, and like I was born on the I think and therefore I am. And like with time, and I had a big intuition. I am a man, and I had a big intuition when I was younger, and I was like, I killed my intuition. I was also living in France, and I think if the French society is a very, very rational society rather than intuitive society. My feeling is like that, my experience of it. And so I killed my intuition, and then a few years ago, I started to reconnect with that. And I was like, yeah, I feel. And now, even at work, sometimes I use I feel. And people look
Yeah.
at me, what you
You
feel?
can't kill it.
Huh?
You can't really kill it. It's always
Yeah.
in you. You're just muted, you know?
Yeah. But how would you, how, what can we do to marry the thinking and the feeling? Do you have any formula, magical formula? Or in your experience, how did you
Like,
live it?
honestly, I think it's the body. I
It's
think
the
the
body.
answer is the body. We gotta feel the body a little bit more, try to be in the moment. Not, especially people that have all those plans. We usually wake up and we have all those plans. I need to talk to this person. I need to do this. I need to complete that. My daughter has this project, whatever. No, just feel your body. Do you feel comfortable laying on the pillow? Do you feel warmth, of the blanket? Is it heavy or is it light? Just be a little bit more present in the body. I feel like the body is the answer for a lot of questions. And being present in the body. Because when we are thinking about something, we're not present. When we're thinking about what's going to happen in the future, what happened in the past, that's not present. But when you feel your body, that's when you feel presence. When you feel cold, when you feel your, fingers, when you feel like you have a little bit of pain in your back, this is when you feel the presence. Yeah, I feel like the body is the answer.
I love it because I I did my coaching thesis was about the something that I call the threesome of life, which is the heart, the mind, and the body, and the connection, and reminded me of this. Thank you for the reminder, and thank you for the connection, because like I don't think a lot of people would say this, and so we are connected somehow. So thank you. Wow.
Yeah, you see, the mind, our thoughts, the body, I mean the heart, which is our emotions, and the body that connects
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it's like
Perfect.
also I called it the barometer, like the temperature, the thing that in which was you can feel things, like that you don't, that are abstract. Paulina, that is always a very disturbing and provocative last question, which is, can you please tell us something that no one or very few people know about you?
See. Well, I think I'm a natural teacher because sometimes it just takes me couple of YouTube videos, and I taught my daughter how to dive and swim. Believe it or not,
Wow.
when she was only 3. Yes, and it's always like this. And then I'm also really good with technology, and I don't understand how it works. I do it with my hands. I press different buttons, and it works. Yes, I don't know how that happens. I don't have the connection in my brain, but my hands are doing it, and that it works. Yeah, I don't think anybody knows that about me.
Great. So now everybody knows.
Well,
Everybody,
good.
like in few years it will be millions of people, because this is what I tell always my guests. Like, we will talk again in a few months or years, and we will have 1 million follower or something like that. But
Yeah,
I'm
you
trying to
never
manifest it
know.
from you. Try to manifest it with me.
I
Um
will.
Thank you so much, Polina. It was really a pleasure to have this conversation with you, and I'm sure it's not gonna be the last time we speak in this podcast, because I feel I want to learn more, and I want to know more, and I want to explore more. So I'm sure we're gonna have the opportunities to do it in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and thank you for allowing me to share little nuggets of what I feel and my truth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I always finish it with a small recap of the conversation. So, Polina, we started talking about imperfection. You started to talk about you being an imperfect mom, and how this was a trigger for you to embrace your imperfection and understand that this is what makes you who you are. You then spoke about, your definition of imperfection, which is comparing you or something to a standard that is coming from an external part. Then we spoke about what you do to keep yourself grounded in this world. We spoke about meditation. You spoke about reading, learning new stuff. You spoke about getting closer to what really matters to you. And then what you are struggling with in this moment is precisely this part in you that thinks they need to earn love from others. They need to do things to earn love. And despite certain crises that you are going through and difficult challenges in your relationship and in your life, you believe that this is what makes you even stronger, and this is happening for you and not to you. And this completely changed your way of perceiving these elements. What you had to let go of to become the version that you are today are expectations, the expectation that you have of yourself. And what you can tell somebody who is now listening to us and trying to awake or trying to go on the path of awakening is to just be with themselves and know that this is a part of them, not the whole of them. And that inside of them, there is a soul, which is the part that is peaceful and enthusiastic in your case, that is present even during challenging times. And one thing that nobody knows about you, or very few people know about you, is your education. And you're very good at technology, knowing that you don't understand anything to technology.
People think I know it, but I don't. I just do it.
Okay. But you were one of the very few guests where the journey, the technological journey on of the podcast was really perfect, let's say. Thank you
Okay,
so much,
well, good.
Polina. It was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure to have you. And guys, please, we need you. Watch, like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for your loyalty. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and on Instagram, Imperfect Podcast. Thank you so much and see you soon.